So you are probably sitting on a business right now and you don't even know it. Um, I'm closing out my email. Give me 1 second here. So yeah, you're sitting on a business and you probably don't even know it. If you don't know me, I'm BT. I try to do things on the side that can give me some type of additional income and financial leverage so I won't feel bound by the job, right? But yeah, you are actually sitting on a business probably right now and you don't know it. Let me tell you a story really quick, and then I'll leave you with two businesses. The first two businesses you should probably start when you're trying to build businesses or create income outside of your 9 to 5. It's really hard to be someone who is fully immersed in work, chase promotions, politic, do the happy hours, do the team building, be the best for your department, be the best for your customers, whether that's internally or externally, and then drive home and then have 100% to give to something else, right? Like we all have heard the hustle culture. We all hear people say, go hard afterwards, after your job, chase your dreams. And don't worry, your 9 to 5 is cool, but what about your 5 to 9? Hustle culture is good for motivation, and I think is something that doesn't need to go away. But there also has to be a reality check within yourself when you hear these things. So and let's say you're not going into a site. Some people may say they work remotely. Cool. But I'd argue you're starting work earlier or ending work later than someone who may be going in the office, or you're sporadic and not as focused because you have a longer runway of time where you can get your work done. But all that to say, you go head first into these jobs. You give them 8 hours, whether you work the full 8 hours or not. Your mind, body, your mental space is surrounded by the company you work for, and it's full in your head of that company. Nothing else. Regardless of how much you're chilling, watching Netflix, or doing all these other things that you try to make it seem cool, like you're getting over. You're not really getting over. And when you get home or when you get off work, you do not have the capacity that you think you do. Now, if you're under 30, you probably do, right? Or if you're over 30 and you kind of single and you got a lot of energy and you eating really healthy and you don't have any kids, maybe you do. But if you're just a person who is, regardless of kids or not, working really hard at your job and giving it your all, even if you're coasting, but you're there and doing at least 80%. If you're giving a B plus at work, I'm gonna say that. Let's just skip all this stuff. If you're giving a B plus at work, you don't have the capacity that you think you do. So, what's the best businesses to start when you're not at full capacity when you get home? This is where I like to always push the original point of starting this channel: vending machines. Let me tell you why vending machines are important. Vending machines are easy but hard. And what I say easy, what I mean by easy is the lift is easy, the work is hard. But a lot of us are quick to try to figure out how to create multipliers or some type of money that does work for us while we sleep. You can do that. Like you have your investments, you can play around on the stock market, all those things. But the easiest business, if you don't have a business, is to start with vending machines. And hear me clearly. Some of y'all, I have a lot of friends. I'll say that. I have a lot of friends who will. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. They don't have a business outside of work. They want a business outside of work. Every time I talk to them about starting a business outside of work, they give me this super ridiculous answer. I'm gonna say that. They give me an answer that sounds highly intellectual, well thought out of what they're gonna do, and all I have to do is this. And when I registered this, and I'm gonna sign up on this website for this. I don't even have to have the same certification. I can hire somebody. They give me these really complicated businesses, and I think that's why they never get to them. With a vending machine, you're literally finding a space that has foot traffic. You're paying for a vending machine, you're putting it there, you're buying snacks and watching margin. That's it. You're literally just watching your money grow based off of minimal and sometimes really good margins, right? So the average vending machine could probably yield you $75 to $150 a week profit if it's in a good location, right? Because there's some crappy locations that you might make less than 50. And then there's some seasonality to some places that you choose where you might make less than $50 a week. You know what I mean? But if you choose a good location, you could at least make $75 a week, 75 to $150 a week. So when you think about that, 75, let me see, 52 weeks, that's like at least that's like 3,500, somewhere around 3K to 3,500. If you're making 150 a week, you're at 75, almost 7,500. Yeah. So this is just one machine annually. And the reason why I like the vending machine space is because you could treat it like gambling. A lot of people, this is a good point. I'm glad I got here. A lot of people that I talk to, they ask me why I do vending machines or why JD does vending machines, and why people waste their time with vending machines. But in their head, they're the type of person that goes to the casino, and if they don't win like 30, 40, $50, $100 when they place a bet, they're done. Me, I could win 5 and then 10 and then 5 and 10 and 10 and then 10. And they're like, man, this table is cold. I'm like, dude, I'm up 15. I'm up 25. Why would I stop just because I haven't won one big number? But a lot of people want that big number. They're looking for something that can automatically make them 6 figures in a year, or can automatically put them on the road to be a millionaire in the next 5 or 6 months. Those are out there probably. But for the first business, and especially if you've never started a business and you just keep saying you're going to start a business, but you never have started one, vending machines. Vending machines is the easiest way to go. It's the opportunities are vast. You can get a lot of help. You don't have to get a bunch of coaching, but you can get a bunch of coaching. There's a wealth of knowledge between me, JD, and all these websites and communities that just have free information. It's not like some of these other things where you may have to have a certification and this and that type of license set up. A vending machine is finding a spot, putting a vending machine there, getting snacks and putting it in there and charging more than you paid for it. That's it. So that is business number one. I like it because it's less time than trading all your hours for dollars, but it's still time intensive, but it's very controllable, especially for your first business out. It teaches you patience. It teaches you to serve the customer what they want, not necessarily what you want. Because I've had some times where I put something in a vending machine that I thought would go crazy, but it's what I want, and don't nobody like what I like just because I like it. So it's a very humbling thing, but it gets you an idea of serving customers what they want instead of just doing what you think is great. Number two, I always say consulting. I always say work for hire. And by consulting, you're pretty much just doing what you do at work or what you know how to do based on your professional resume. Sometimes it's just being an assistant. You know how to do that. So yes, it's trading hours for dollars, but here's the thing, you get to be a little bit more savvy with it. So where a vending machine, you could put it down and make 150 a week. You could just say, hey, I'm going to work for somebody 4 hours in the week and make $150, right? You can kind of choose and negotiate your value based on your experience within the company you work for. So you could say, hey, I'm going to take my big company, my professional experience, help this small business or this entrepreneur or this other company that just needs help on a contract basis, and I can charge them what I really feel I'm worth, and I can negotiate that. And so some people may only be making 10, 15, 20, $30 an hour, and then you might say, you what, I'm making 10, I want to charge 20. I'm making 15, I want to charge 30. I'm making 30, I want to charge 60. Or you may not even say hourly. You may say, hey, I'm worth this amount for a project. Hey, this project is going to take us 2 weeks, regardless of whether it's 10 or 20 hours. I want $500. You know what I'm saying? So you you get to use what you use all day. And the reason why I like this as number 2 is because you're already in motion. You're already doing it. There's no extra training that needs to happen. This is like, oh, I left work and I was doing this email and presentation and these sales. Awesome. Now I come home, it's clockwork because I'm not even doing it at the level that I was doing it at my job, because also I don't have the layers of Zoom meetings and policy and red tape and appeasing this boss, et cetera, that you would do at a normal 9 to 5. You're just doing this work and handling this task and checking this box. So it's a lot easier to do the work that you actually do at work outside of work when you charge for it. So those are two businesses I think anybody who wants to get into making money outside of work should absolutely start. Um, the whole make money while you sleep thing, you know, we could always talk about that. But I think just for people who have not started and been saying that they were going to start, you got to just use what you have. So put them hours in. You can watch Netflix while you do your contract work or your consulting work and put together presentations and do executive assistant work. Vending machines, like you can take a Saturday, half a Saturday, go check the machine and then come back and see. That's where I say it's good, because you don't have to, you once you get to a certain number, it gets a little tricky, it gets a little time consuming, and you really have to measure your hours and dollars. But just to start, just to see money coming in and to build that confidence, vending machines or consulting slash executive assistant work. Any questions, any comments? Hit me up, hit JD up. Let us know what you think. Peace.